They say time heals all wounds. But what if time itself is the wound? What if the thing you've been waiting for, healing, success, peace, isn't hiding somewhere ahead of you, but already exists right now, in a parallel frequency your senses forgot how to hear? Picture this. A man walks through a long hallway of mirrors. Each reflection shows a different version of him. In one, he's broken, tired, weighed down by regret. In another, he's radiant, calm, awake, already living the life he dreams of. He thinks he's walking forward, moving through time. But he isn't. He's only shifting his gaze. Each reflection already exists. The only thing that changes is which one he looks at. This isn't a fantasy. This is physics. The illusion of time is the most convincing magic trick in the universe. We've been taught that time is a straight line, past behind, future ahead, and now as the fragile dot in between. But the truth is stranger. That line, it's not real. It's a simplified map drawn by a brain designed to survive, not to understand. The brain doesn't experience time. It doesn't move from yesterday to tomorrow. It only records patterns, electrical pulses, memories arranged like film frames in a reel. You think you're moving through time, but you're just lighting up one frame at a time with your attention. Einstein hinted at it a century ago. He said time isn't constant. It bends with speed, gravity, and observation. But even that's only the surface. Because the deeper we dive into the quantum world, the less time there is to find. Down there, in the invisible depths, particles don't travel from A to B. They exist in clouds of potential, all at once, until someone looks. The moment you observe, you choose. The wave collapses. Possibility turns into experience. So what is now? It's not a second on a clock. It's a point of consciousness, a meeting place between your awareness and a specific vibration of possibility. Every second you think passes doesn't. You're not moving through moments. You're tuning between frequencies. And every frequency is already alive with a different version of you. The one who failed. The one who thrived. The one who let go. The one who became free. You're not creating your future. You're selecting it. Think of time like a radio dial. All stations already exist. Jazz, news, silence, chaos. The one you hear depends on what you're tuned to. That's why waiting doesn't work. That's why effort without coherence leads to frustration. Because the field doesn't respond to effort. It responds to frequency. Still, the clock ticks. Still, your body ages. Still, you wake up and go to work. So how can time not exist if we live inside it? Here's the paradox. Time is real, but only inside a specific frequency. Each timeline is a video game level with its own gravity, its own rules. Shift your awareness to a higher level, and the rules rewrite themselves. Memories blur. The past rearranges. The future begins to leak into the present. If that sounds impossible, it's only because you've forgotten who's holding the controller. You are not a passenger in time. You are the projector, the beam, the screen. Your consciousness is the engine that collapses infinite timelines into one. This one, right here. And if you can remember that, even for a breath, time stops. Because in that breath, you step outside the illusion. You stop chasing. You start seeing. And you realize you were never moving through time. Time was moving through you. Episode 2. Consciousness as the remote control of time. Almost equals 600 words, cinematic rhythm, voiceover style. Time doesn't move. You do. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, is a command to the quantum field, a signal saying, collapse this version of reality. We've been told reality is fixed, that the past is gone, that the future hasn't come. But in truth, both are waiting, like tracks on a record that already exists. Your awareness is the needle. Where you place it decides which song you hear. This is not mysticism. This is quantum mechanics in motion. At the smallest scale, particles don't behave like tiny billiard balls. They exist in a cloud of potential, everywhere and nowhere at once. And the instant they are observed, they choose a place to be. Observation creates the event. Awareness births matter. Which means the same is true for you. Your focus is not passive. It is creative. You are not a spectator of life. You are its author, one thought at a time. But here's the trap. Most people don't realize where their attention goes. They wake up and immediately tune into the same frequency: stress, doubt, guilt, fear. They replay the same memories, repeat the same emotional chemistry, and wonder why life doesn't change. They're not cursed. They're consistent. They keep tuning into the same station. Every emotion broadcasts a signal. Frustration sends one frequency. Peace sends another. Gratitude? It's the highest of all, the one that tells the field, the future I desire is already now. When heart and mind align, something extraordinary happens. Neuroscientists call it coherence. The brain's electrical rhythm syncs with the heart's magnetic pulse, creating a clear, stable field around the body, measurable, real. In that state, your energy stops fighting itself. You become a precise signal in the quantum network. And the universe, which is always listening, echoes back the reality that matches your broadcast. You've experienced this before. Moments when time seemed to vanish. When hours felt like minutes, and everything flowed effortlessly. That's coherence. That's you operating the remote control of time. Because when you enter that flow, time bends. You stop chasing outcomes and start summoning them. You stop waiting and start aligning. And alignment collapses distance. The question is never, when will it happen? The question is, who am I being right now? Because every version of you already exists. The one who struggles, the one who thrives. The field isn't waiting to decide. It's waiting for your signal. So ask yourself, what am I broadcasting today? Every thought is a tuning fork. Every feeling, a vibration that either opens or closes a timeline. If you hold on to the emotion of limitation, the field will mirror it with experiences that prove you're limited. But if you hold the emotion of freedom, the field rearranges itself to confirm it. This is why change feels so hard. You're not fighting circumstances, you're fighting frequencies. And you can't beat a frequency by wrestling it. You can only transcend it by shifting your signal. So breathe. Get quiet. Feel your heartbeat. It's not counting seconds. It's pulsing data into the field. Each beat says, here I am. This is who I am being. And when you choose to feel as your future self feels, confident, loved, whole, the field hears you. Instantly. Because consciousness doesn't travel through time. It creates time, moment by moment, waveform by waveform. You've never been at the mercy of the clock. You've been holding it in your mind all along. The past is not behind you. The future is not ahead. Both are inside you, waiting for your attention. And when awareness and emotion move in harmony, the illusion of time finally bows to its master. You. Most people think change takes time. But in truth, it takes a shift. A shift in emotion. A shift in vibration. A shift in identity. You don't move through time. You move through versions of yourself. Every emotion you hold is a key that unlocks a different world. Fear opens one. Joy opens another. And every time you revisit an old pain, you don't just remember it. You re-enter it. You step back into that timeline and make it real again. That's why your past keeps repeating. Not because it's destiny. Because you're still feeding it with attention. The universe is neutral. It doesn't store grudges or keep score. It simply mirrors your state. What you observe, you revive. What you withdraw attention from, dissolves. Think of your life like a giant quantum jukebox. Every song, every possible reality is already there. The only question is, which one are you playing? When you dwell on guilt, the song of regret begins. When you feel gratitude, the melody of expansion rises. And when your heart and mind sync in love or clarity, you skip tracks altogether, leaping to a completely new timeline. That's the real meaning of quantum jumping. It's not science fiction. It's energetic navigation. Let's make it real. Every thought creates a small chemical ripple in the body. Every memory reactivates the same neural network that first recorded it. Your body, your cells, can't tell the difference between what's happening and what's remembered. So each time you recall pain, your biology relives it. That's how timelines loop. The way out isn't to fight the past. It's to stop rehearsing it. When you become the observer, when you see your thoughts and emotions without reacting, you unhook from the version of you who lived them. That's awareness. And awareness breaks the cycle. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. But in spiritual terms, it's liberation. You stop being the prisoner of memory and start being the architect of energy. Here's how it begins. You close your eyes. You breathe into your chest. You ask, what would it feel like if that old story no longer defined me? And then, you feel it. Not once, not for a second, but again and again until your nervous system starts to believe you, until your chemistry updates, until the body of the past loses its authority. Every time you do this, you collapse an old reality. The timeline that was sustained by your emotional attention flickers out, and a new one begins to take shape, one built from your current vibration, not your history. That's what true healing is. Not fixing the past, not rewriting it, but stepping out of the version of you who was wounded and into the one who already transcended it. You don't erase memories. You release identification. And what you stop identifying with stops existing in your field. That's why miracles feel sudden. Because they are. They're the moment your frequency jumps faster than your logic can follow. 1 second you're bound by fear. The next, it's gone, as if it never was. Because in the quantum field, it never was. It only lived as long as you looked at it. So what if you stopped looking backward? What if you stopped defending your pain? What if you started breathing from your future instead of bleeding from your past? You'd find yourself standing in a brand new now. A now where the air feels lighter. The world responds quicker. And life begins to mirror the version of you you've always felt was waiting. That's not magic. That's mechanics. And the moment you realize this, you stop healing slowly through time. You start leaping instantly through vibration. You've been taught to chase the future, to plan it, to wait for it. But here's the truth. You don't walk into your future. You become it. The field doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your state of being. Every thought, every heartbeat, every breath is a broadcast saying, "This is who I am." And the universe, always listening, reflects that back to you with absolute precision. Let's slow down. Take a breath. Right now, you're sitting in a timeline created by yesterday's emotions, by last week's thoughts, by every signal you've sent into the field, consciously or not. And the good news? You can change the signal at any moment. Because reality isn't built from effort, it's built from coherence. When your mind says, "I want change," but your body still vibrates with fear, the signal is scrambled. The field can't read contradiction. It mirrors confusion. That's why you can't think your way into a new life. You have to feel your way there. Every emotion is a frequency. Gratitude resonates high. Trust resonates even higher. Love, it bends time itself. When you feel gratitude for a future that hasn't yet arrived, your brain doesn't wait to confirm it. It believes it's happening now. Your chemistry changes. Your heart rhythm stabilizes. Your electromagnetic field brightens. You become the future before it happens. And the moment your biology agrees with your vision, the field has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. Neville Goddard called it living in the end. He didn't mean pretending. He meant embodying the emotional reality of your fulfilled desire. Because pretending says, "It's not here yet." Embodiment says, "It already is." And the field always answers the tone of certainty. You want abundance? Then stop chasing it. Walk like someone who already has enough. Breathe like someone who trusts life. Move through the world as if your needs are already met. That vibration, that feeling, is the magnetic key. You want love? Then stop seeking it in others. Embody it. Be the version of you who is already loved, already whole, already safe to receive. When your inner world changes, the outer one realigns around it. Because the outer world is not the cause. It's the mirror. At first, this embodiment feels uncomfortable. Your old self will resist. It will whisper, "This isn't real. You're faking it." But that's just your nervous system protecting its familiarity. It's not the truth. It's inertia. And inertia dissolves in repetition. Each time you act from your future self, speak as them, breathe as them, choose as them, your biology updates. Your neurons fire in new patterns. Your chemistry reprograms. And the old identity begins to fade like static in a forgotten signal. That's why real transformation looks invisible at first. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's cellular, subtle, quantum. Embodiment isn't about doing more. It's about being differently. It's remembering who you are before the story. And when you remember long enough, when you live as that version even for a few breaths a day, you'll notice something stunning. The future stops being something you chase. It starts orbiting around you. Because now, you're not trying to reach it. You're radiating it. And reality can't resist coherence. Take a deep breath. Feel it. This is your future body. Your future energy. Already here. Already vibrating in the field. And the more you hold it, the faster the old world melts away. You're not waiting anymore. You're remembering. There comes a moment when the illusion cracks. When you stop asking when and start asking who. When you stop chasing change and realize you are the change. Time doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. You are not inside time. Time is inside your field, bending, folding, rearranging around the signal you send. Imagine this. You are standing in a dark theater. The projector hums behind you. On the screen, your life is playing. The people, the places, the memories. Most people stare at the screen, trying to edit what they see. But the secret is behind them, in the light. You are that light. You are the projector. And the film is made from your vibration. Change the light, and the movie changes. Change the frequency, and time itself begins to rewrite. That's why healing isn't about the past. It's about attention. The past only exists while you keep projecting it. When you stop feeding it, it fades. And what you feed with emotion becomes real. What you bless with gratitude multiplies. What you embody with love solidifies. All across the planet, something extraordinary is happening. People are waking up from the trance of linear time. They're realizing they are not travelers through a single path, but navigators of infinite ones. Mothers, artists, scientists, healers, all starting to feel it. That subtle hum behind reality. That quiet knowing that the future isn't coming. It's calling, and it's calling from within. This awakening isn't about belief. It's about physics. Because when enough consciousness enters coherence, the field itself shifts. Reality reorganizes. Timelines merge. Miracles stop being exceptions and become the new baseline. Every thought, every act of kindness, every moment of clarity ripples through the collective field, helping others remember too. You're not alone in this. You never were. We are a network of projectors, each one collapsing reality through awareness. Each one learning to use attention not as reaction, but as creation. Take a breath. Feel your heartbeat. That rhythm, it's the pulse of time responding to you. You are the axis, the still point around which all movement revolves. The clock doesn't measure your life. Your life gives meaning to the clock. When you shift your focus, the hands move differently. Moments stretch, destinies fold, and the impossible starts to feel natural. Close your eyes for a second. Ask yourself, what version of me already lives in peace? What version already feels whole? What version already remembers the truth? Now breathe them in. Feel their frequency merge with yours. Not tomorrow, now. Because the gap between you and that version was never distance, only attention. And as your awareness softens into coherence, you realize something life-changing. You were never waiting for your future self to arrive. They were waiting for you to remember. Time is not a road. It is a mirror. And what you see reflected depends entirely on who you decide to be. So when the next sunrise comes, don't count the hours. Don't chase the next moment. Be the stillness that makes the sunrise possible. Because you, the observer, the light, the frequency, are the true architect of time. And when you remember that, the universe doesn't make you wait. It bows to your awareness. The game ends. The loop breaks. And everything you've ever desired collapses quietly, completely, into now.